You are listening to the Esthetician's Earning More podcast with Brittany Hageman, episode number 177.
Do you want to make $100,000 revenue in your esthetician business? If so, I would love to show you how. I want to invite you to coach with me in my one-to-one coaching program. It's completely customizable. The way that it works is we sit down and figure out what you've been doing in your business that hasn't been working, and then make a very specific plan that I help you follow over the course of 6 months to get it done. We meet weekly for 30 minutes and discuss exactly what went well that week and we're going to do next week, whether it's your pricing needs to be raised, or you need to have boundaries with your clients, or if you need to learn how to sell skincare, or you need to niche down and you're doing way too many services and not making money, or all of the above. Whatever the issue is, whatever the reason is you're not making money, we'll figure it out together and we will grow your business into a really profitable business that's sustainable, that you love, and that really helps people. I cannot wait to be your coach and to work with you. To learn more, go to the link in the show notes. And with that, on with today's episode.
I'm already going to apologize today for my voice, and hopefully I will edit out all the coughs. I am still sick. I got sick last Monday. I came down with, I think it's the flu, honestly. I got the flu shot, so it's not nearly as severe as I've had it in the past, but flu-like symptoms. And it's now in my chest, and I'm now coughing a lot and sound not so great. I do feel better, but I'm not 100%. I definitely have a few more days of this, I know. But I still wanted to record today's podcast, so I'm really happy to be here with you. Today, I wanted to talk about reviews, something that I talk a lot about with my one-on-one clients, something that was really important for me to grow my business and how I got clients. And so I'm just going to kind of tell you a little bit about my experience with it and then some tips I have around reviews, getting reviews. So when I worked for another esthetician, my first year as being an esthetician, she was like the number one Yelp esthetician in our area, and she had gotten so many reviews. And so she trained me to get a lot of reviews, and I did. And I haven't honestly looked back on the Yelp page in a long time, but I was still like high on her review page for a while. And so when I went on my own, I knew how important it was to get reviews. And equally, I knew how hard it was to get reviews, because people may absolutely love you, but it is not their priority to write your review. And I want you to just like let that sink in for a second, because I think when you go out and ask clients for reviews and you don't get them immediately, it is very challenging mentally to keep asking for reviews and reminding that person to do a review. It starts to really mess with your brain, where you're like, I guess they don't really like me that much. I guess they don't really value me. They lied to me and said they were going to do a review. They don't really care. Maybe they said yes to be nice, but they really don't think I'm that great. Your brain can like really have a lot of panic. And my brain still panics when I ask people for reviews and I don't get a review immediately. It's like, oh no, did they actually not like? If they not liked what we've been doing, are they actually really unhappy? So it can be just really hard on you to be persistent for the reviews. But it is so important to have them. When I was growing my business, Yelp was really big. I don't think Yelp is as big as Google reviews. Google reviews didn't exist then. And if I was doing it again, I would be focusing on Google reviews. And actually, Google owns Yelp now. So if you have Yelp reviews, that's helpful. It's not a great thing. But if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Google, because people Google businesses and people Google keywords. And when keywords and businesses are Googled, and many people have used those keywords in writing a review, your business will come to the top of that page. So it helps with SEO, which, if you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. I'm not an expert in SEO, but I have learned a lot over the past 8 years. And I think that it's It's really hard to get the review, but once you have the review, it's a really easy way to grow your business. So, how to get reviews from your clients? I want to talk about that first. You have to make it as easy for them as possible. So you have to know all the steps it takes to get a review, whether it's like on Vagaro, which is like if you're doing Vagaro, Gloss Genius, which I think still are important and they can help. I honestly think Google is better than both of those. But whether it's on those platforms or on Google, and you have to know the steps. Like if you haven't written a Google review, you don't know how it is. You need to write some Google reviews. You need to like see how it works. You need to see, like with Yelp, you used to have an account. And so I would tell people like, you have to have an account. So like you have to have a Google account to write a Google review. You can't just write a Google review without a Google account. So you have to know the steps to tell the person who, especially if they aren't technologically savvy, they may need every single step. And even if they are, they may get stuck at some of those steps and not really know what to do at that point and give up and be frustrated and just be like, whatever, I don't want to do this anymore. Because even if they're so happy with you and the service you provided them, they aren't getting a big return for doing this besides the goodness of their heart. Now, of course, you can have incentives and like people do. I know people offer, money off and things like that. I know with Google and I know with Yelp, that is not allowed. And if they catch you doing that, they will deactivate your account. Now, I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm also not saying to do that. If you want to do that, just proceed with caution that if someone reports that you're giving away, $10 off or something, you would get caught. It may be worth the risk for you. So I'm just going to tell you that. You can do what you want, but if you're not doing it like a discounted incentive, you can still make it really easy for them to do. So when I first got my lash extensions, which if you're watching this video, I've let my lash extensions go temporarily. I'm very sad, but it's okay for now. And the lash artist, after our first appointment, messaged me, like texted me and was like, "Hey, how are your lashes feeling?" I'm like, "They're great. I love them." Instantly, she was like, "I'm so glad to hear. If you could write me a quick review." She had the link right there. It was like, I just had to click it and write like a few sentences. It was like so easy for me to write her review. And so you have to think of ways to make it really easy for someone. You're expecting them to take time out of their day, whether it's 5 minutes, to sit down on their phone or on their computer and write something for you. You have to make it easy for them to do. You have to give them an expectation. I always used to say, just write 2 or 3 sentences, because 2 or 3 sentences seems very easy to do. It's like, I really liked Brittany's acne treatment. My skin feels great. I highly recommend her. Like, write this 3 sentences, right? What I found is that most people write more, but 2 or 3 sentences is great. And you have to be persistent. It is 1,000% more important to you than it is to them. And when I first started working with someone else, I had all my family and friends come in and I gave them a treatment, and then I had them all write me reviews. And it was so much work to get them to write those reviews. I'd be like, "Hey, I haven't seen your review yet. Can you please get it done? Here's the link." And like, yeah, I was pushy for those reviews. And this is my family and friends, so I could feel a little bit more pushy than I would for actual clients. But then when I opened my own business, I had clients that followed me, and I really was persistent with those clients that followed me to like, please write me a review. Like, I asked them every time I saw them. I would email them in between our appointments. I was very lovingly, sweetly persistent because it really, really matters. And so what I often see with estheticians when they're asking for reviews from their clients is they ask for the review. The person says yes. The person does not write with the review. And then the esthetician is so discouraged and stops asking people for reviews. So they're like, nobody cares about me. And I just want to reframe that in your brain. It's not that they don't care about you. They just have a lot of other things going on. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I've been actually working with a virtual home organizer, which sounds really bizarre, but it's actually phenomenal. Her name's Allison. I'll put her information in today's show notes. And she's phenomenal. I've had such great success working with her. She's helped me with my closets. It's been day and night difference. It's been incredible, life-changing. She's asked me to write her review. Listener, I have not written her review. Okay. I can tell you why. I am sick. My dad right now is currently and my stepmom are visiting, and we went to the mountains. I've been onboarding a bunch of new clients and offboarding a bunch of clients who are ending. I have been doing a lot of PTA work for my daughter's preschool, and they had like Halloween parties. Now they have like Thanksgiving parties coming up. I'm very stretched thin right now. I have a lot going on, and if I have extra time, I'm going to put it towards my clients and my business and my family. Like those are the top priorities. And so it's not that it's not important to me. It's just not the most important thing. And it's not that what we did wasn't incredible. It just isn't. It isn't top of my list. It's still on my list. And I will get it done. I will probably get it done faster if she consistently, friendly reminds me. And so I really want you to just think about reviews from that perspective is like, if it makes you uncomfortable to ask people to do things for you, you're going to have to get over that. That is how you get reviews. If you see people around you have hundreds of reviews, they got over the fact of asking people to write them a review multiple times. They just dealt with it. They dealt with the discomfort that they're going to have. Because the reward of getting new clients is so much bigger than the discomfort of being persistent for reviews. And the thing about reviews that I have found, now I've owned 2 different businesses, is rarely people read the reviews. They just like to see a volume of them. They like that there's 50 of them. They don't really read them. And so that's why I would always tell my clients like 2 or 3 sentences. Like they don't have to write paragraphs because rarely people actually read them. And it's just them saying, yes, I recommend her completely, essentially, you know? And it's all that the person who's looking to buy is also interested in. Like if I'm going to a restaurant, I don't necessarily need a breakdown of everything that they ate. I usually don't look at that. I'm like, people like it? Is it clean? Is the food good? That's all I really care about. Going to a hotel. Like my husband's family was visiting in October, and we also went to the same mountains that we just were at. And that one had, I don't know if they do 10 stars. I can't remember, 5 or 10 stars. They had like all 10-star reviews. I forget what was the cabin that we stayed at. And the reviews that were overwhelmingly was like, the house is very clean and the beds are very comfortable and the pillows and everything. And you know what it was? The house was so clean and the beds were so comfortable. Like me and my husband's family, we were like, these beds are unreal. And we just went to a different rental with my dad, and the beds were not nearly as comfortable. And we stay actually in a tree house, which was very cool, but it was not nearly as clean. It was like so different to the point that I may even write it like a 4-star review, like mentioning that, like the towels were a little bit musty, like all these things. And so people are looking for those things, right? When they're looking for reviews, they're not looking for like, when I'm, booking a cabin, I'm not looking for like the best vacation of my life necessarily. I just want it to be like clean. I want it to be comfortable, whatever. If I'm looking for an esthetician, I want someone who like people really love and will go back to again. So think about that when you're asking. If there's keywords that you want them to say, ask them to say it. It makes it easier for them. So they know exactly what to say and how to say it. And I don't think that's unethical, especially like if they have come in for a Brazilian, like ask them to mention Brazilians, right? Like it's not unethical. They're very happy with their Brazilian. Like as opposed to being like, oh, the service is really good. Like that isn't as helpful. This is going to be a short episode today. I'm really sorry. It's just My throat cannot handle talking that much right now, and I have a bunch of clients tomorrow that I need to rest up for. But I will say this. If you don't have reviews in your business and your business is not growing, I would start here. And if you can't find people to give you reviews, if people aren't enthusiastically saying yes, then you have to figure out why. I would ask them why. And if they won't tell you, I would try to figure it out. Because if you can't get people who've come in to see you be like, yeah, totally, I'd love to write you a review, then that's the problem. And if you do get people who are like, yes, of course, I'd love to write you a review. You've changed my life, or I love the way you do my eyebrows, or whatever, then you just have to be really persistent to get them. And no is not going to feel really good for you. It's not going to be a fun thing to get reviews. It's fun once the review's there, but the process of asking people to write reviews is not fun. It's not easy. It usually doesn't go from asking to them writing it and it being done within a day or two. It almost never goes that way. I'm sorry to tell you. And if it does, amazing, but that's not usually the case. And that if you have that expectation, you're going to be disappointed. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I'm sorry that I'm sick. I'm sorry it's a short episode. I will be back next week, hopefully feeling better with some more fun things to talk about in your business. Have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Hey, if you like this podcast, please rate and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. I cannot tell you how much that helps my podcast grow. So you can click 5 stars if you like it and you want to give me 5 stars. And please leave a review about telling me why you like it so that I can help other estheticians grow their business. Thank you so much.